Hi friends! October is ADHD Awareness Month, so what better time to make a video about how I stay focused studying Japanese with also having ADHD myself. And before we start, I will give you a little bit of a background behind my diagnosis. So I got diagnosed in spring last year, so spring 2024, at the age of 26. And I received the hyperactive ADHD diagnosis because there are 3 types: inattentive, hyperactive, and combined type. Since getting diagnosed, I made quite a few changes and a few adjustments that helped me focus on studying and also live my life in a less stressful way. When I was a child, I struggled a lot while studying for school, and also when I started studying Japanese a couple of years back, it took me 3 tries to stay consistent, so I wasn't always the motivated Japanese learner that I'm today. So today I will share my tips with you, and maybe they also help you if you don't have ADHD, because some just help with concentration in general. So the most important thing for me is to get into a flow state, so a state where I'm not always checking my phone and looking at the clock, but I'm really focused on studying. And when I reach this state, usually I can focus for like 1 or even 2 hours without thinking about something that will distract me from the topic at hand. And essentials for me are setting the atmosphere, so having nice lighting, maybe a candle burning or some string lights. Or in the summer, I really like studying in the afternoon because then the sun comes through the window into my office and then I feel like I'm sunbathing while studying. This also always puts me into a good mood. And I also always make a nice drink, so a tea or a coffee, or in summer I will also make an iced tea. However, I don't make a snack because I feel like having a snack or like eating at the same time will just distract me from studying and bring me out of the state that I want to be in, so no snacks for me. I also really like having something in the background, like lo-fi music for example, and 2 playlists that I really enjoy are Chill Lo-Fi Mix by The Bootleg Boy or Half Past 3 by CZ Prime, which are both playlists on Spotify, and I will link them below. I also really like putting out all my things that I need for studying beforehand, so before I start, because I feel like it minimizes the risk of getting distracted when searching for a book and then you're seeing another book on the shelf and I'm like, oh, I haven't used this book in a while, let's look inside, and then you're not really sticking with your task. And I speak from experience with that. And one thing that is really big for me as well is the time that I have, and that I feel like I can either lose track of time. So if I have like 2 or 3 hours and I know I can just spend them studying and I don't have any appointment afterwards, then I will just let myself loose and get into studying without setting a timer or anything. But if I know, for example, in the morning I only have like 1 hour-ish or like 1.5 hours before I have to go to work, then I will either set a timer, and I will show you the one that I use later, or before I had a timer I would just set an alarm on my phone 10 minutes before I had to stop, so that I still have a little bit of time to wrap everything up before I have to leave. Because I feel like if the issue of time is taken care of by the timer or the phone, I can just relax without fearing that I will completely lose track of time. It's also very crucial for me to have good organization, so that I know where things actually are that I'm using on a daily basis when it comes to studying. I'm sitting at my desk right now, and right behind me in my bookshelf there are all the books that I use on a daily basis, and it's very easy for me to just extend my hand to the left, grab the book, and then use it. So when I have to set up my study station, you know, like take out all the books and stuff, it's very easy because I don't have to walk across the room, which maybe doesn't seem like a big deal, but sometimes, I don't know why, it can be a little bit of a hurdle to get started if I have to go across the room and search something. I also have a study plan that I will write down every single Sunday when I do my Sunday reset, and then I just have to look right here onto my study planner, and then I know what I have to do in the week. So there's no time wasted with thinking about what should I do now, did I already do my grammar this week, I don't know, I forgot, because for every day I have a little bubble next to my daily tasks and I can fill that in after I did the task, and then I know, okay, I already did my vocab cards today. So it's visually very easy to see what I already did. I can only recommend making yourself a plan that also stays on your desk, because if I would put this away out of sight, I would forget and not use it, so it stays on my desk desk all the time. Which brings us to the next topic, which is environmental cues, because as I told you, out of sight, out of mind, my study planner stays on the table. And also in the evening, I will usually take out my kanji writing book and I will place it on the desk. I will put out the pens that I need for doing the kanji exercises. And then when I go into my office in the morning, I will see, oh yeah, kanji writing exercises. So my brain knows what it has to do without having to remember. And even though I do the same thing every single day, if I would not put it out, there would probably be a day where I would just forget and then forget about the whole routine I have going. Also on my couch in the living room, there is my Japanese book and also my iPad, because I use that to look up all the words that I don't know. And it always stays on the couch. So if I go near the couch, I see the book and I'm like, oh yeah, it's reading time. It's also the same with if there's something that distracts you from studying, that's maybe on your desk or near the place where you usually want to read or study, just put it away, because this will also help, because out of sight, out of mind, and it will lessen the likelihood of you getting distracted by the Switch or whatever distracts you. So I can only recommend this tip also for things outside of studying. It always helps. And speaking of routines, even though routines are very important for me and without them I would probably not get a lot of things done when it comes to studying, it's also equally important for me to switch it up, because there's nothing worse than things getting boring and me not wanting to do them anymore, which also happened with Anki cards, for example, before. Sometimes it gets a bit repetitive. So usually I will only set study goals for a quarter, and then I will see afterwards, okay, is this still working? Do I need to change something? Is there something that I don't like at all, or something that I have to incorporate? And also when I get bored within the quarter, I will just go on to a little side quest and maybe try a new tool, as I did before with LingoPie and Satori Reader. And sometimes I even find things that I really like Satori Reader, for example, and that I can use to switch up my reading routine, for example, if I feel like I don't want to read physical books and I just want to have another medium or like a different experience, for example. And another thing that was also important for me is to figure out when I can concentrate the best. And usually that's in the morning or before noon, because I know myself, and if I don't do my Japanese studying before I do something else in the day, I might forget, or I will just procrastinate on it, especially on the daily review tasks, and I will just tell myself, oh yeah, I will do it later. And then later I'm just too tired to do my 200 Bunfro cards that accumulated over the day, and then I'm stuck with 300 cards the next morning and I'm not happy about it. So yeah, that's why I do all my review tasks in the morning, and then sometimes during the week in the afternoon I will do something if I have the motivation, read in the evening, and my bigger study tasks I will do on the weekend before noon, because then sometimes I have like 2 or 3 hours free time and I know, okay, I can just get a lot of stuff done here and I don't have to worry about being late for work or anything like that. So let's talk about physical things that help me with focusing. So first thing is my timer, which always sits also on my desk, and I can just rotate the thing at the side, put in the time, and then it will count down. And I don't like when timer have the numbers and then there's something moving and I can see it from the corner of my eye and I will not be able to concentrate very well. So I chose this one because when you press it for long, you will not see the numbers anymore. So the only thing that will move is this little circle. But since I usually do a timer for an hour, it doesn't really move quickly. So I don't really see that. And every time I look at it, I don't get stressed because there's time counting down, like actually numbers that I see counting down. I just know, okay, half of the circle is gone, so half an hour is gone probably. So I still know how much time I have, but there's not so much pressure as when I would see the numbers. I don't know why, but it works for my brain. So that's the most important thing. And then something that helps me as well are my headphones. And before I had my AirPods, I forgot which one I had. I will put a picture here and I will also link them. Those were okay, like as my first noise cancelling headphones, but when I went to a coffee shop or environment that was a bit louder, it didn't really drown out the noise. So that was still very hard for me, like to study in areas like that. But I sometimes like to go to a coffee shop because then there's nothing that will distract me, like laundry or something at home. That's why I looked around in the autistic community actually, and everyone said get the AirPods Pro, I think. And I really like them. So much that I forget the name, but yeah, I guess happens when you have ADHD. They reduce a lot of noise. Not everything, but I feel like 95% of it. And yeah, I can only recommend them, even though they are quite expensive. So it's an investment, but I didn't regret it. And as I told you, I have the hyperactive ADHD type, so sometimes I just need a fidget for my hands to keep busy when I'm a bit nervous, for example. And actually, when I was in Japan, I bought a lot of those hair ties because I liked the iridescence, I guess you could call it, like the colors and how they changed in the light. And actually one of them ripped and I was so sad, and I was like, no, I don't want to throw it away because I liked them so much and I don't have a lot, and I think like 3 of them already ripped during my time in Japan. And then I just held it in my hand and I was just like doing things like that, or just fidgeting around, and I was like, wait, this feels oddly satisfying, so this is my fidget. And like a 3 set of those hair ties was 100 yen, so I didn't really pay a lot for that. So I'm very happy because I also bought fidgets for like 15 euros or something, and they don't help as much as this one helps. So sometimes it's the easy things and not the expensive things. So if you have something like that, hair ties, I can always recommend them because you can just wear them around your waist, and then if you're in need for a fidget, you can just do stuff with it. And then I also showed in my last vlog that I bought a walking pad. So this really helps me with doing my vocab reviews in the morning, especially when I am a bit more fidgety, because I can move my feet while doing repetitive tasks and I don't have to be worried about running into something. For example, before I had the pad, I sometimes walked outside and did my reviews, but of course I have to be careful not to run against something, or when I cross the street I have to put away the phone, etc. So it wasn't really ideal. So yeah, this really helps a lot. And I got it from FlexiSpot. And also when I'm more fidgety, my standing desk helps me a lot because I can just stand up and move from one foot onto the other and just shift around. And oddly enough, doing the reviews on a walking pad or like doing my kanji writing while standing actually helps me get them done faster, because I will not slump in my chair and think about something else without concentrating. So yeah, this really helps my productivity as well without being toxically productive, but just in a way where I can concentrate better. And the desk I bought from Desktronic, in case you also want one. And I will try to link everything below. So if you're interested in any of those things, check out the description box. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was somewhat helpful. If you want more content about ADHD or have questions, let me know in the comments below. And also, if you struggle with concentration while studying, I would be also very interested to know how you fixed it or what things helped you. So let me know. And yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. And I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye bye!